quote, well, hell, I got to prove I'm LeBron first before anything. I got to prove I'm the playmaker at all levels. He's in the top 3 in any debate you have. Myles Garrett saying he's got to be the LeBron James of defenders. I'm also looking at that Cleveland defense against that revamped Kansas City O-line, Jay.
Can I defend? Because I know when people hear, you know how it works. Whenever you hear LeBron James in the same sentence with another athlete, people say, what the hell are you doing? Why would you ever compare yourself to LeBron James? So the way Myles Garrett looks at this whole thing is LeBron James was that guy, when he came back to Cleveland, he needed Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love to help him go the next level, to bring the first championship to the Cleveland Cavs organization. I think what Myles Garrett is talking about here is the addition of Jadeveon Clowney, and you think about guys like Malik, right? I'm drawing a blank on his last name. Malik, help me out, Key. You talk about Malik Jackson, right? Malik Jackson on the defensive end, right? And I think when you think about a guy like Myles Garrett, to be healthy has been a question. I mean, be healthy. He had a suspension, never played 16 games throughout his NFL career. And then last year he had COVID. But when you think about the top-tier players as far as Defensive Player of the Year, his name has to be in that conversation. Obviously, you're going to have T.J. Watt in that conversation. Obviously, Key just talked about Aaron Donald. But Myles Garrett is in that conversation if he can have the best ability, it's availability. If he can stay durable, he will be in that conversation.
He is Myles Garrett. Like I think about J.J. Watt once upon a time. He was different than everybody else. I think about Aaron Donald today, just a different dude. When I'm looking at Myles Garrett, he's excellent. But is he next that way? Is he a different dude, Key?
Look, he's a red dot guy, okay? No question about it. What I mean by a red dot guy, when you're sitting in the film room and you have the laser printer and the coaches are telling you, we've got to block this guy, he's going to cause us a headache. That's true. But he hasn't taken that next leap, like that Von Miller, that J.J. Watt, DeMarcus Ware. He hasn't taken that leap where you're like, oh, my God, this dude's about to have 25 Michael Strahan sacks on him. It just hasn't gotten to that point. Now, he's still young, and he's, too, had several defensive coordinators teaching him. So I think in time he will take that next step. He's certainly a guy that would completely cause havoc on the defensive side of the ball. You've got to pay attention to who he is. I think this year is a telltale on whether he can get to that Aaron Donald level where all of a sudden, no matter where he lines up at and what he does, he's going to make a major impact on sniffing out the football.
CJ, when I hear Von Miller, I get it, because Von Miller is also like a clutch player, right? Mm-hmm. When I hear DeMarcus Ware, I'm thinking beyond Ware. I'm thinking like J.J. Watt to me.
How you gonna think beyond Ware, man?
Because J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald, when I think of the best front seven I could ever make, you have to consider those two on the front set ever. Like all time.
Yeah, but DeMarcus Ware walking into that yellow jacket.
No doubt. No. Key, that's what I'm saying. There's even a different level. Like, I don't doubt Myles Garrett could get to that level that you're talking about. Now I'm talking about, are you in the conversation ever, all time? The dude I see right now like that is actually Chase Young, where I think with everyone out there playing defense, who do I see as being a dude where we'll tell our grandkids, yo, you had to see this dude.
But let me bring you inside a little bit, though, Max. When you start talking about J.J. Watt, yes, he's Defensive Player of the Year and all those sort of things, but a lot of other stuff comes with the hype. And when you push up the hype, you get a little bit more. When you talk about a guy like Chase Young came from Ohio State. We saw what Chase Young was able to do at Ohio State. He was ridiculous. Right. So when he walks in, you sit there and that sizzle. It's almost like Zion in basketball at Duke. He came in with such high praise that it was like, okay, we're waiting to see. Myles Garrett didn't come in like that. Myles Garrett came in as the number one guy, but he didn't have all of the fluff and yeast around him. So nothing would push him up. That means like things that boost things up. But it didn't.
Myles Garrett came in like matzah, and this guy came in with yeast.
Yeast. But when you talk about it, though, he is on a trajectory, I believe, to do greatness. but his name isn't going to be popping like that.
Myles, you're saying?
Not yet.
Well,
no, his name is just not going to pop like that.
Don't you see this year as an opportunity for his name to pop like that, considering
yes, absolutely.
that
and it can start, can start on Sunday, Jay.
Yes, it can. Yeah, yes, it can.
That's what this game has. Look, I'm even thinking about the Browns.
By the way,
offense.
the Chiefs are -6 at home. I mean,
I don't even know what that means.
They're favored by less than a touchdown.
Less than a touchdown, Key. Like,
but,
it's right there.
But they're not. But I mean, that they are fair. Meaning they'd be favorites on a neutral field,
yes.
right? They'd be favorites. It'd be even money. No, they'd be favorites anywhere. But the point is this: the Browns' offense. You mentioned it earlier. How often do we hear that's the #1 pass blocking offense and run blocking offense? You almost never hear that. They were #1 both last year. And independent of that, Key, they got two dudes who can run the ball and who complement each other in the back, like the best in the game, really, overall, when you look at the tandem.
Yeah.
And now you have Odell coming back. Like, as much as you can talk about how's the Browns defense going to match up with the Chiefs' new offensive line, that Browns offense, if Baker, we talked about paying Baker like an elite quarterback, if Baker takes a step here, if Odell and him get on the same page coming back, this is going to be an impossible offense.
Well, the offense is certainly gonna have its share of excitement. There's no question about it. With Landry, OBJ, Hunt, Chubb, Baker Mayfield, the tight end. I mean, Rashad Higgins, young receiver. They're gonna do some things, but that offense is not gonna all of a sudden drop back 50 times a game and let him sling it all over the line.
Why would you when you can run like that?
But that's just not what Kevin Stefanski's system does. I mean, when you look at it, he came from a tree of like the Gary Kubiaks of the world, was there mentoring him in Minnesota, teaching him how to call an efficient game.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.